I'm Zach Tershwell, Exploration Manager at Hannon Metals, and I'm coming to you today with yet another announcement coming out of Peru. We have another fantastic set of results from the Previsto project out here in central Peru in the Amazon jungle. Today's release is talking about results from Previsto Central, building on the last release in the last campaign last month, where we had another incredible result. We had yet another incredible outcome where 100% of our channel samples that were collected had mineralization. So that is hosting mineralization of either gold, copper, or silver. To see that in such an early stage project is just remarkable. We've gone from 100% hit rate in the last campaign to 100% hit rate in this campaign, and that just signifies a very strongly mineralized system. So what that means is that this system hosted a lot of mineralized fluid when it was in place, a lot of gold hosted in that fluid. And the fact that we're seeing that monomictic mineralized breccia footprint that continues to expand really supports that hypothesis. To quantify that, if you look at some of the major operations in the central arc of Peru, they're talking multi-million ounce and millions and billions of tons of copper. So these systems are world-class, and that's the ones that are well-defined in the central arc of Peru. And where we are working in the back arc, it's a brand new zone that has never been explored in a modern sense, which is what makes this discovery so exciting. I'm always saying that big systems have big footprints, and Previsto is a prime example of that. Our gold in soil and also the geophysics response is up to 5 by 5 kilometers in scale, and that is just a remarkable scale to be dealing with. Within that footprint, the focused work area that we're talking about today with these results is Previsto Central. Now, that is our central high-grade gold zone, which we know and love. We have continued detailed mapping and channel sampling in Previsto Central and continued to grow the footprint of high-grade mineralization in outcrop. So we're predominantly taking channel samples, which is, I treat it like almost like a horizontal drill hole that goes along the outcrop. Gives us a really nice representation of what the rock and the mineralization is doing in situ, so as it sits in the ground. We're not talking about boulder samples here. We're talking about the mineralized breccia in outcrop that is now up to 305 meters across. That footprint just continues to grow each time we return to the field. So when you're looking at our channel samples that we've announced today, we're seeing dozens of meters add up to 0.5 gram or 1 gram of gold. Now that's quite a significant width. Within that, we've also got 44.9 meters at 9 grams of silver. So we're beginning to define quite a high-grade silver footprint that follows fairly closely with that mineralized breccia. There's a silver footprint of about 400 meters of over 5 grams of silver. That is closely matched with about 1 gram of gold across that footprint. So those channels point to significant mineralized widths with high-grade zones within them. So today's results, the highest grade gold is just above 2 grams and the highest grade silver is above 30 grams. So those are pretty remarkable numbers for the work that we're doing here. You'll see in our press release document today that I've inserted an image of a beautiful rock sample from the fieldwork. So that's an image of the monomictic breccia that you see at Previsto Central. The breccia that we discovered only a few months ago and have now been continuing to define. Now, what's significant about that breccia? It's hard to see in that photograph, but when you look really close, you can see the mineralization is occurring in the cement. So that's the space between the clasts occurring within there. So that means that the breccia formed at the same time with the mineralization, the mineralized fluid. And that is a really interesting signature because it's what you see around the world at some pretty major deposits where the breccia itself is mineralized. So that is just another one of several fantastic learnings that we've come across at Previsto Central in recent months. You'll see in today's announcement, if you go right to the bottom, you'll see figure 4. That outlines the high-grade silver footprint that we're beginning to define. So look at those numbers on that image. You see 450 by 120 meters. That is a zone of fairly continuous mineralization of silver, which is above 5 grams per ton. That reasonably closely follows the footprint of the mineralized breccia. So that's actually only the high-grade footprint, as in plus 5 grams. When you zoom right out, and if you look at figure 2, which does have the gold points on it. But if you looked at the silver on that map, you would be able to see that the silver above 1 gram per ton stretches for up to 2 kilometers to the south and about 2.5 kilometers in the east-west direction. It is just a remarkable amount of metal that is just sticking out of the ground. That is all points in outcrop too. So it's very significant. I'm out in the field with a 6-strong team, and the work just does not stop. So we have 6 geologists in the field every month, continuing to expand that footprint of mineralization. I'm out here visiting this week, and I'll be out on this outcrop looking at it tomorrow. As always, keep following along because you can expect many more results coming from us. Here at Previsto, have the field work that continues every month, so always results coming out of Peru. Alongside that, we have the projects in Sweden. The assays from our first round of drilling at Stavoträsk should be due in a couple of weeks, so please keep watch for those to come to the wire. Here at Hannon Metals, we are progressing gold, copper, and silver exploration in 2 fronts. That's in Peru and in Sweden, progressing those 2 alongside each other. The work does not stop, and we are very happy to be here. Thank you for tuning in.